Hey guys, so we recently had a Cyrax in top 8. Sorry, not in top 8, almost in top 8. Just seeing competitively on stream the potential of the character. He's not playing slouch players here, and I wouldn't say this is the first time Slayer's fought against Franco's Cyrax. They clearly have played before. There's a lot of reads here going on. And it goes to show that if somebody here with the fundamentals can really test even a character like Kung Jin. Now you might not consider Kung Jin top tier, but for me personally, this matchup right here is in favor of Kung Jin. And I'll just quickly go over why I think it's in favor of Kung Jin before we start. The first of all is like plus on block low pokes when a lot of Cyrax's pressure is high. You can kind of bully him, so you can just like down 3 into down 1 into grab or down 3 into grab. You know, there's a lot of that going on. Then you've got to worry also about like down 1 chakram, all these different sort of elements. And then when you're actually in the neutral situation, he can dive over nets. He can just fly and kick over to get in, spend a barometer just to get on top of you. He outranges you massively on his normals. Like he can just whiff 1-1, 1-1, 1-1, and things like that. But what we see Franco doing in these games, and this isn't a Cyrax thing, this is just a character thing. He's option select ducking because he knows that the next hit from Slayer is going to be a high, even if he unblocks, and then it's going to cover both not only the grab but the first hit on his high move if he decides to do 1-1-1 or the little really fast chakram string. And you'll see him doing that throughout the set, and this is one of the main things that he does. Now, when I'm watching Slayer play, and this is obviously Slayer's a top player, he's made numbers of top 8s, he's beat Sonic Fox and things like that, but I don't see the same level of reads on his end. I just see hit buttons and see what works. Does that make sense? I don't see any sort of trying to open him up by making Franco make a mistake or anything like that. He's just pressing stuff. And that's kind of how the game's evolved to at this point. I do believe that the first person to be on aggressive offense is usually at advantage with some of the characters and some of the pressure chains they've got. But here we see Franco just fundamentally super sound. And I just wanted to show you some of the things he could have done differently, and then this set might have gone in his favour, but you never know. You just never know. So the first round from Slayer was rather free, so I'm just going to skip that. And we're just going to go straight on to the sort of next one.
He was buffering.
He was buffering. Oh, of course. This is
just straight up sweeped him?
You're allowed to teabag.
So there's the first duck grab there. He knew that was coming. And this is his corner combo. And let me just pause it here. So at this point, he's on 23% damage to Slayer. He's not dropped it, which is good. I think it's a very difficult combo to drop. But the problem with the combo is that there isn't that much hit advantage from it. As soon as that bomb drops, because of the hit advantage, he can maybe get a 2-1 out or something like that. But ultimately, the character can hold down and back and then like spam down 3 or something and then block the bomb and then get out. Or they can even reversal grab you. Now, I don't think Slayer knows this, but he can wake up, grab, and just reverse the positions on the spot. But the other thing is as well, is there's not enough time for the Cyrax to bait anything. So you either as a Cyrax player are just going all in and just going, right, I'm just going to block here, he's going to wake up. Or you just go in for pressure. You can't bait anything. You can't press a button, then block. You don't have enough time, if that makes sense. So let's have a look what Slayer does on wake up. Full, not even armor. He didn't even armor out there. So if he'd have gone for the traditional deep NJP combo in the corner, which he could have done in that setting, he would have been relaunched back into the corner. Looking at his health bar now, he's about 75%. He'd have been about 50%. And he's not even had to work hard for that get out. He just woke up. That's an extremely fast wake up, by the way, but it only has 1 hit of armor if he spends the meter, so you can armor break it. Anyway, let's just carry on with the set. It's very nice EX saw there just to contest the jump back because he knew he was going to flee. And now we had a really hype moment because when he started doing all these combos, DJ T and stuff started commentating. Just want to go over that. So from that situation there, he's done a very strange setup. Now the setup kind of works. The idea of the setup is he does the uppercut, he dashes forward, he does like a hard knockdown with a bomb, and then he forward freeze, and then he uses the plus frames. But there's no hard to blockable at that point, and Slayer isn't challenged with anything, if that makes any sense whatsoever. Slayer doesn't have to think, oh god, I'm gonna have to block high or low here. He doesn't think, he's just like, oh, he's forward freeing at me, there's a bomb at my feet, I can just block here. You know, there's no challenge to him there, there's no stress. And the idea of being good at Cyrax is stressing the opponent out with so many different setups, not knowing when they're gonna come, which ones to do, that they just get confused. And even if you know a lot of the setups, it can be really difficult to know what's coming and to act appropriately. So there was that. He's still got the offense, but Slayer's gonna slowly creep it back now. Plus on block NJP from Slayer. He's got himself a nice conversion. What's the setup? Nice overhead again. Slayer's now looking quite firmly in control of the round, and it's chip at that point. So that little spot there is exactly why this is tough for Cyrax, and the sheer fact that Franco took this to 5 games is madness. Went for the neutral duck again, but Slayer just didn't bite on that one. He's at 30% there, trying to neutral duck, but he might have missed a 50-50 as well. Okay, so now Franco's trying to contest. Respecting the fact that Slayer might have done something out of those plus frames, he was slightly plus there. Good blocks on the overhead and the low chakram. Good hit confirm, really solid. And he drops. It's unfortunate, it happens to every Cyrax player. He at least makes the most out of the drop, gets 27%, gets himself another 13%, so he's up to, 40% there, so not terrible to be honest. And I believe, unless Slayer drops, it's pretty, yeah, it's just chip out. Momentum is definitely key in this matchup. Whoever gets the momentum is going to win. The instant jumping punch as well, you can't anti-air it, is insane. It's another ridiculous read from Franco. Absolutely insane. He's got Slayer on his sleeve. And we're seeing this combo again here. Now, at this point, he's doing it. He's gone for the hard to blockable, but it's not a hard to blockable. Now, Slayer's backdashed and stuff there, but you can't do a setup like that and do that. So if you're watching that there, he needed to have done far bomb and then ran and then done back one. Because otherwise, that sort of hard to blockable situation just doesn't exist. If that makes any sense. So just as a note there, he's sort of gone half in. Does that make sense? He's not covered all his bases there. With the first setup, he's covered his bases because he's done forward 3. Forward 3 would have covered any sort of backdash shenanigans, but with his hard to blockable situation, he's sort of just gone for mid bomb, ran up and tried to do a back one, and it's just not worked out for him. Now, if I was him and you've got that uppercut set up, if you have a look at the uppercut that he does just slightly before it, 41. Let's just go to 41-45. Now, because he's got him in that combo, which is going to happen now. That's such an incredible neutral duck. So here he can actually do far bomb to cover tech roll, standing free close bomb or mid bomb. But instead he chooses to do an NJP into that. Now if he'd have done the far bomb into standing free close or mid bomb, he could have still got his hard blockable situation and stopped him from doing the backdash or even the tech roll backdash if he was going for that option. It's an unlucky drop there on the 1-1-1. Does happen from time to time. Still not still not pressuring Slayer with the plus frames there. I don't know whether this is him conditioning Slayer to say, I've got plus frames here, but I'm blocking to see what you're doing, but then he's going to capitalize on it for a combo. I don't know whether that's what he's going for there, but it seems very weird that he's not at least trying to challenge with something. But again, the range of Kung Jin really does like sort of hinder that. So I believe that's safe on block, so I think Slayer tried to down one out of that or something, so really nice for Franco to use the forward 2. Forward 2 is a good mid. Oh, it's just so insane. Again, he's going to do this combo. He uses the EX saw and then dashes forward, and that was actually absolutely fine. I thought that was a really good setup for himself. I like that setup a lot. Obviously he's spending a bar for it. Again, could have done Firebomb standing 3, but he got it this time. And I think he got that time because he did Firebomb, if you'd noticed. He did Firebomb into the setup instead of mid-bomb. So even Franco is adjusting here mid-set on his stuff. He's thinking, oh, I must have messed up there, which is really good to see. So EX Saw is just filth. Like, it's one of the most broken moves in the game, and look how much damage it can lead to. That had to have been an input error. Slayer's really made a massive error getting launched by that bomb. Nice NJP there, and again another whiff punish. Let's see what setup he goes for here, because the problem is if you go for the same setup every time, yeah, it can become slightly predictable. But he does bait for the armor there, which is a really smart move, especially when Slayer's on 2 bars. Just doesn't work out in his favour.
Oh, here we go. Full combo in the corner. He's going to go for max damage. Okay, 34. Oh, doesn't watch his head this time. Slid into the DMs. Slid into the DMs once again. Safe.
And obviously, there's no need for me to like fully commentate when the god of DJT is also commentating. Nice mid. So it is a good mid forward 2-1-1. The reason why it's not as oppressive as sectors or something like that is purely because it doesn't have the range, and on whiff it's death. Okay, so I'm going to pause it there because this is a really important thing to note. If you're doing the standard corner combo in the corner against Kung Jin and he wakes up with armor, because the bomb isn't as close to, like, his setup, his bomb's too close to the corner, but with the NJP setup, if you stood far enough back, and you can game it against certain characters so that this happens, because it doesn't advance him far enough. If he wakes up with the EX cartwheel, he still gets launched and you still get a conversion. And that's, I mean, if he had known that going in, his confidence in the corner would have been through the roof. He knows the only way Slayer can wake up is with the cartwheel, and it launches anyway. Even if it hits, I believe even if it hits you, you can get like some sort of launch out of it. It's just madness. So it's no longer safe on block, and it's no longer an issue even if you go for pressure. But with his setup, his current setup, he has no such sort of liberty, and he just has to make a read. And this is why setups for Cyrax are so important. The character's already hard enough to play, already needs a lot of reads in the neutral. When you need reads for setups as well, it makes it a lot harder. So from there, the momentum's just completely shifted. It should be Slayer still in the corner at this point on about 20% health, with Cyrax on 40. But instead, Slayer's got out and he's took the round.
I like that move. Okay, final round. This is a crucial round right here. All right, both players sitting on 1 round apiece here in game 3. Just to remind you, this is for an opportunity to go to winners top 16 here at final round.
And he went for another. Can you see how he's gone for another neutral duck read?
27%.
And he's took 27% instead of 10 because of it.
Drop in the corner.
I I don't know whether it's the right thing. He's just dead at this point. Absolutely dead. So the neutral that reads, although they were so like super sick, I think he was doing it a little bit too much. But having said that, maybe that is the only way for Cyrax to get things going in this matchup. Another drop. So that's 2 drops now because he didn't wait long enough for the 1-1-1. Misses his punish there, but it was still a nice read. He's still going for it. Very nice block on the chakram. He's pressuring now with his mid-string. Used his breaker. Very lucky. He's actually extremely lucky for the NJP of Cyrax to trade there. I've never had that happen. Kungjin always wins. But well played regardless. So even though this matchup's looked absolute, like this round's looked terrible for Cyrax, here as well, you don't have any bombs. So I don't know whether he forgot, but from there you either do standing 4 ragdoll or back to standing 4 ragdoll if you've got the timings. Again, this is almost into top 8 and he didn't, I don't know, he must have brain fired, but you don't have enough bombs to carry on that setup.
We got breakers on point. Got throws. That's 4-3.
Slayers now, it's just abusing how fast his pokes are, but Franco's a god, clearly. He's not going to drop it this time, he's adjusted his timings, he knows now to delay the 1-1-1 a little bit more. Again, far bomb standing, 3 mid bomb here, covers all his options. The Slayer's not ready. I'm loving his maximum damage conversion there with back 2+4. Absolutely loving it. When you play against people that know the matchup, nice, good whiff punish. Again, this is like 1 game away now from beating Slayer with Cyrax. This is madness.
This is for top 16 winners.
Jared Johnson is waiting in the wings for whoever loses this set.
Slayer's going in.
Alright, here we go. We got Slayer. Oh, nah, here comes for everything junior. Pressure.
Really nice pressure now from him. The one thing that you don't see from Franco is down 1 into Saw, or anything into Saw. And I kind of agree with it in a way, and it might be something that, this is nice, he does a good conversion, this is still fine, from his situation there, that was a good conversion, yeah, nice, and he gets the hards blockable, he misses his NJP there, but he's still in good stead here, he needs to build a barometer, he needs that armor. Against Slayer though, down 1 Saw must be so powerful. Yeah. So again, it makes you wonder that if he'd have down 1 sword in those mashy situations, it makes you wonder if he'd have caught Slayer counter poke in there, got the hard knockdown, then just done a back, like any sort, because when you get the hard knockdown in the corner, you can just meter your opponent and Slayer's dead. But that's a guess. Like there's nothing concrete to say that Slayer would counter poke, but Slayer does seem very happy at this point, especially at 2-2 in the set. For Franco to just suddenly start doing down 1 into Saw, this is incredible from Franco, by the way. Like the pressure here is just incredible. Let's see what setup he gets off this. I'd have done far bomb, standing 3 close bomb, but he's going for this. Now, you can jump kick there as well. He's done the wrong bomb. It's gone too far, but that's okay. And again, he's making really good use out of forward 2-1-1. I don't like it because it's negative, but he's working out quite well. Slayer's got a huge lead now. In my opinion, this game should have been over. It should have been 2-0 to Franco, but misses a punish there. Unless Stuart helps, he's going to go for. and at, at this point, yeah, don't try and go. A back two there was extremely optimistic, but still, like you can see the power of Cyrax coming through, and it's such a shame for it to have ended like that. Now it does go on, and I believe you can watch the rest of it on Combat Network on their archives. But he does go on to make top 16 at least. I think he beats Dred Johnson, and then he might get knocked out by Lion or Blake. I'm not too sure. But again, absolutely just brilliant stuff. So I just wanted to go over that. What I'll do quickly is I'll just show you the variations on the stuff that I feel like he should have been doing, just as a visual representation for those that might be thinking, well, I don't know what you mean. And it's just this isn't anything like technical or anything like that. It's just a very slight gameplay change. So when he gets Slayer into this situation here, now, obviously, first of all, the first thing I'm saying is he needs to be able to do the like super hard combo. Dropped it there, but he needs to be able to do that. Absolutely. But let's just go on to what he was doing. A slight variation of it. So you do far bomb, you do either standing 3 mid bomb or close bomb. Now if you do standing 3 mid bomb, you can sort of like run up and do a back 1 or something like that. If they tech roll, they're going to get hit by the bomb behind, so you don't have to worry about that. So I'm not thinking to myself, well, I'm worried about him tech rolling here. That's not even a problem for me. And if they do tech roll an armor, they're guaranteed to take 6%. Like, absolutely. So at least I know I've got 31, 32% plus 6. That's 37%. That's guaranteed. And if they armor, you can react at that point because he's so far away tech rolling that if you start running towards them, you just see it. You know, so it's just so nice having that peace of mind and knowing that you're able to do that. So you've done the fire bomb there. You've done standing 3 into either mid ground bomb or you could do close ground bomb. And I'll tell you the differences. Now, this is a character matchup thing. If a character's got an advancing like armor, you want to do close ground bomb. Now, you won't get a setup off that, so this is purely a read. But the Cyrax player knows that if Kung Jin wants to wake up with that overhead cartwheel flip, he will get launched by a close ground bomb. And that's really nice to know. And as a Cyrax player from that point, all you need to do is just run up and then either just do a 50-50. You know, you don't need a bomb setup to do a 50-50 on someone's wake up. Or you can just do, if you definitely want like a hard to blockable situation, do far bomb, standing 3 mid bomb, then run up back 1 or something like that. And there was that. And then in the corner, so as you can see, even if Kung Jin was to wake up with armor at that point, not only do you go through him, he gets launched. So yeah, just little things like this that I believe may have given him the advantage. A couple of rounds that he would have swung in his favour. It was a super close set. It was always going to be a super close set. And I feel like if he didn't make all those neutral duck reads, even though some of them got him like punished, even if he didn't make all those reads, I think it would have been like a 3-0 for Slayer. So massively well done to him. It was crazy stuff, but it just goes to show you the potential of some of these characters if you really work hard and just bring your all to the tournament. So I hope this has been something quite different than what I normally would do. Thank you definitely for watching. Like and subscribe really helps, and I'll try and keep bringing out more content for Cyrax in the future. Thanks.